Hi, this is Gary Goodwin, founder of the Armchair Dreamer, and welcome. This is the place for tips, tools, and techniques for activating and expanding your use of your imagination. Before we get underway, I just wanted to note that today we're going to take a big picture view at this topic. I know you'll be looking for the how to do it portion of this. That will be in a separate presentation at armchairdreamer.com. And you also may be looking for additional information, background information to make sense of this whole thing. That too has been put into separate presentations. Today, just the big view. For 85, 90, 95% of the imagination work you're likely to do, you'll need to enter imagination. You'll need to know a technique or techniques, have them polished up, be able to quickly use them to get in to the place where you want to do work. There are several ways to enter imagination, but I've narrowed it down to 4. All 4 methods are 4 easy methods. Now, what do I mean by easy? Number 1, these techniques are easy to learn. Number 2, they're easy to do. Number 3, they only take a few minutes. And number 4, you're going to find it tremendously easy to fit one or more of these techniques into your current life. So there really are no excuses for not doing this sort of work on a regular basis, ideally every day. Entry method number 1, relax your way in. There are 2 major states we find ourselves in if we take a big picture view. One is how we are in the daytime state, and nighttime, when we're asleep, falling asleep, or waking up, the nighttime state. The daytime state we know the best, we're the most aware of because we're conscious during the daytime state. It's also the time that we use the most because we use it to accomplish something, small or large. It allows us to plan, allows us to do, it allows us to focus our energy, it allows us to make decisions and weigh options. It allows us to move towards those things that we're attracted to and stay away from those things that we wish to avoid. That is our daytime state in very simple terms. The nighttime state, the pure nighttime state, would have us unconscious, would have us or fully in a dream, or in some other state where there is no thinking or no dreaming going on. But in more general terms, we could say as we approach it, or on the outer skirts of the intense, deep unconsciousness, we have a sleepiness, we have a dreaminess, images come up, feelings come up, things can swirl together, there's surprising imagery coming up from the unconscious, there are things we don't understand. It's quite a mixture, quite a blend, quite a creative mix is what we're seeing and experiencing. These states feel like opposites, but they're not like a light switch, meaning that either they're on or they're off, or there's only the possibility for one state at a time. We suspect that there's something else, almost like a third position or a third thing that's going on. So we got daytime, we got nighttime, but there's something else going on. We don't find a light switch, but we do find, using another analogy, a series, a collection of blends. If we're really observant and we watch our change of states during the day and as we approach the night and even throughout the night, we'll see that frequently there is a blend of daytime and nighttime. In some cases, it can be a light blend. For instance, the gray circle next to the white circle. A person who's observing that light blend might say, well, I'm feeling a little tired, or I've lost focus here, my mind is starting to wander a bit. If we go to another level up, getting a greater mixture, a greater blend, then we're getting even more distraction, even more disconnected from what we had previously been focused on, or maybe our activities here in the world, and we become a little bit more fanciful. We do a little bit more daydreaming, letting go, maybe just hanging out in sort of a formless place. If we go up, another one of the circles represented here, and we add in the blend, add in more nighttime, then the images are starting to grab us, or have grabbed us, and they're pulling our attention. More and more of our attention is leaving the exterior world and being internalized, either being aware of something in our body, or something like a memory, or I mentioned a daydream, really embellishing and building upon a daydream. Things have changed a great deal, and they can change quickly, and they can be very profound. What makes blending possible is relaxation. I'm thinking that without relaxation, we would have a light switch. We'd either be this full daytime consciousness, and then flip the switch off, we go to nighttime unconsciousness. But relaxation is the bridge, it's the pathway, it's the blender, the one that makes the various states possible. So if we know, giving away the secret here, if we know how to relax at varying levels, then we take power, we take control of the blending, the movement towards where we need to be for doing various types of imagination work. And of course the question is, once it's known that relaxation is the blender, then the question becomes, well, which relaxation technique, or which ones? Let me say that the fastest way to get started, the easiest way to get started, which is very important, we can study this stuff all day, but if we don't get going, we don't get going. I say pick what you already know. If you know a breathing technique, if you know a muscle relaxation technique, if you know some visualization, use that, or go and look around, which is not hard to do since there's hundreds of them being offered on YouTube alone, a basic relaxation technique, and start with that. And what I mean by basic is, it isn't the fifth level of some specialized meditation. It is, how do I relax? How do I let go? How do I let go of daytime state of mind and body? How do I ease up on my muscles? How do I ease up on my vigilance? It's reversing. Think of reversing your daytime state. And once you find a technique, which is not going to be hard, start applying that and seeing its effect upon movement away from your daytime awareness and concerns. Entry method number 2, use your memory abilities. Memory, common memory, does a lot of the entry work for us. Now think about a memory that involves a location, somewhere where you've been. It could be at home, it could be on vacation. You enter to see that memory more clearly, and you've already turned inward, turned away from the outer world realities to an inner world representation. Then we get more and more imagery coming up, and if you work at it or spend a few minutes with it, then you start to get sensory input as though you are there again. A way to think about it is, we're doing a type of daytime dreaming when we step into a memory. And that's not unusual, or it's not surprising, because memory is part of imagination and is deeply part of the unconscious. So we're stepping right into the unconscious, we're stepping right into imagination when we turn to a dream. This is easy to practice because we know how to do it. Plus, people ask me, what memory should I use? Turn to any memory. It makes no difference what memory it is, because we want to be activating memory abilities, memory capabilities. So it makes no difference. Entry method number 3 is delay falling asleep, delay waking up. Previously, in technique number 1, I talked a great deal about blending of states and how we can do that with relaxation. Well, there's twice a day, whether we want it or not, or ready or not, we're going to get powerful blendings imposed upon us by our body, by our brains. First one is as we are moving towards sleep. We're getting more and more tired, losing more and more focus, and if we don't watch out, we'll go into sleep. And the other one is at the other end, when we are coming to wakefulness out of sleep. Those are two powerful blending points. These two can be used, or you may have a favorite. I prefer the evening one to the morning one, or you may prefer the blending point of moving into wakefulness from sleep. The technique, the approach to making something of these two switching points, these two blends, is right in the title of the method here, method number 3, and that is practicing delaying falling asleep. And I don't mean staying up till midnight with Red Bull. I'm talking about the very subtle, your head's on the pillow, you're moving more and more towards sleep, but you don't allow yourself go to immediately to sleep, but you retain a little bit of soft consciousness at the same time as you relax more and more. And that's where you can do imagination work. At the other end, head's on the pillow, you're taking on a little bit more vigilance, a little bit more awareness. The body is becoming more active, but hanging on to enough of the sleepiness or the dreaminess, not letting it go away immediately into wakefulness, but hanging on to that. Easy entry method number 4, follow a guide. There is now about 40 or 50 years history of recordings that are made to help people, to guide them into imagery, to set up the circumstances and to ease them into the process and ease them out. And this certainly makes the easy entry method easy, because everything is gathered for you. You can just relax and work with the material. So you're supplied basic imagery, which could be going to the beach, going to the forest, and you're guided through the activity there of doing something or seeing something or touching something. And the recording, going with this method, this easy method of entry, allows you to sit back or lie back and just go with it, which may allow you to go deeper earlier in your exploration of imagination work. The structure of these recordings, first of all, you're guided into relaxation. Then there's an introduction of the imagery or the theme you'll be working with, and you'll be allowed some time to work with that theme, work with those images, and then your guide will wrap things up, bring you back, allow you to exit and come back into the world. You will have to do a bit of looking for guided imagery recordings. Not that they're hidden away, not that they're few in number, but the platforms change so quickly, the recordings change so quickly, there's not just one spot to look. I don't have something at armchaildreamer.com. I have a guide there if you want to go deeper into how to get good at spotting likely recordings that will work for you. Look for that guide at armchaildreamer.com. Otherwise, do some searching at the music platforms such as Amazon Music or SoundCloud or Spotify, or go to YouTube and look for both video recordings as well as audio recordings there. There are phone apps now dedicated to inner work, and you'll be able to find some recordings there within the apps, maybe a subcomponent of the apps, or maybe the entire app is music or sound. And do look using a search engine for guided imagery recordings to see dedicated websites or dedicated products that might work for you. All right, we've made it to the end. We made it through all 4. Let me just give you a summary of them again, or let me just give you a summary list. Number 1, you heard, was relax into an altered state. Number 2 is use your memory abilities. Number 3 is delay falling asleep or delay waking up. And number 4, follow a guide. I suggest that you pick one of the 4 to learn first, but learn the others as well, because the knowledge of the others and experience with others may get you to shift from the first technique to another one, and they all inform each other. It gives you greater and greater knowledge of how to enter imagination and how allow imagination to become much more forceful within you. Let me end with a thank you. Thank you much for being here. This is Gary Goodwin, founder of The Armchair Dreamer, and I will see you next time.